Hey y'all, welcome back to Camping with Katie. We wanted to take some time today to give you an update on my health. This is hard.
This video has been a long time in the making, so we're going to try to make it and see what happens.
Yeah,
Would have done it sooner, but we've not been mentally or emotionally able to do it up
or
to
had
now,
time to
anyway.
stop to be able to do it. So where are we? We are a little over a year and a half past diagnosis of Parkinson's, which was March 6th of 2019, and had a doctor's appointment in September. And that day, in and of itself, was a day.
Yeah,
We were in Nashville to help Sam's grandmother move, trying to get back home, and ended up with two new camper tires, a 12-hour trip home from Nashville. And in the middle of that, we did a video doctor's appointment at a small state park in Tennessee. Um, my movement disorder specialist, Dr. Walker, who is with UAB, which is the University of Alabama, Birmingham, for those that are not familiar with it, uh, asked that I not be on my medicines for my appointment. For a lot of you, your bristles are already up and you're wondering why. Dr. Walker had not seen me without my medicine and wanted to see where I was as far as my Parkinson's, to see how well my meds were working. And we got an education that day.
yeah, we weren't ready for that experience, I don't think, because we hadn't. Katie has not been off of any of the doses of her medicine for, I guess,
Since March.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so it was shocking to see the change. And of course, it had been a stressful week and a stressful few days,
Stressful morning.
a stressful morning. But just yeah, we weren't.
The
Yeah,
repi-
I kind of expected the tremors to be worse. They were not all that much worse.
until the end.
Um,
Yeah.
it, but her mobility was greatly reduced. Her ability to walk well and normally,
Yeah.
and just kind of not, uh, seemed like it's out of nowhere to us. Of course, the Lord knows all these things are going on and
Yeah.
knows our condition better than we do.
Also struggled with clarity of thought, finding words, making decisions quickly. But we knew that my Parkinson's was progressing. In September of last year, I began to have a tremor in my neck. And then I guess it was back, I don't know, the summer. Every once in a while, I would have some tremors in my left hand, but those became explosive one Wednesday night and have been there ever since. So, of course, we knew it was progressing, but again, we didn't expect it to the degree that it is. Um,
And a lot of people say, "Well, I thought Parkinson's only affected one side of you." And yes, in stage one, that is correct.
yes,
Our understanding is we move into stage two is when you see
both sides.
results across the hemisphere of your body,
Yeah,
and that was again another shock to us.
yeah,
And so Dr. Walker, and he had mentioned before the a procedure and medical procedure, and a lot of people have done this, and but it was prior to that series of events, we had not really considered it because medication seemed to be working so well.
yeah,
Uh, and noticed the medication not working as well, and then the manifestation of the new tremors being on both sides. He mentioned again the deep brain stimulation treatment, and so that is what we're talking about today.
So, what is deep brain stimulation? The simplest terms, it's like a pacemaker for your brain. So, just a reminder, the left side of your brain controls the right side of your body. So, what we are looking at having done is having neurotransmitters implanted deep inside my brain. Yes, this is brain surgery. Um, They will be connected to a lead in my neck, which will go to a stimulator pack in my upper chest, much like a pacemaker. Um, it is a process. And next Thursday, November 12th, I begin this process with an MRI. It is the first step to be approved for the surgery. I will also have a neurological, psychological evaluation to make sure that I have no signs of dementia, to make sure that I'm emotionally stable to be able to have the surgery. All of that will go before a committee, and that is the DBS, Deep Brain Stimulation Committee. They are the ones that decide if I am eligible for this surgery. They meet the first Friday of each month. So they will meet December 4th, then they will meet again January 8th. My hope and prayer is that my case will make it before the committee on December 4th. However, I've already been told that they can only look at about 10 cases in a meeting, so there is a chance I will get bumped to January. Once they have made the decision that I am a candidate, they'll call us, let us know, and we'll schedule surgery. As we're working through all of this, I guess about 2 weeks ago, God dropped, in my mind, a gift in our laps. My doctor is heading up a research study on deep brain stimulation, and it involves the way that the signal is transmitted through the neurotransmitters. Most transmitters have a ring signal, which means the signal goes all the way around the transmitter. But the transmitter that they would like to use for this, or that they're using for this study, is a directional transmitter, which means they can put it to exactly the spot I need that stimulation. Why is that a big deal? The ring stimulation often has side effects. They're not major, they can be overcome with physical therapy. But with this study, they have had no side effects with the directional stimulation, and it's a personalized treatment. And for somebody with Parkinson's, that's a big deal, because if you have 50 of us sitting in a room, we're all going to look very different. We're all going to respond to medication differently. Our tremors are even going to manifest in different ways. So to have something that's mine is
something that the doctors are able to fine tune to her, and it's not just the neurons, but even your body chemistry, and the changes in your body chemistry can affect the way that the implants disrupt those signals, and it's fascinating study. It's kind of disconcerting when you start to think about it being a part of you, but
yeah. And some people are going to say, oh, but do you really want them to put something in your brain? At this point, yes. Yes, my meds work most of the time. I do experience what they call off times, which is when my meds are not working. Those are becoming greater. I am getting close to thresholds on my meds where I'm going to start experiencing more side effects, worse side effects, and I really don't want to do that. Another thing is with the medicines that I'm on, that bird is determined to sing while I'm talking.
Loud. He's a little fella too.
Um,
it's a nuthatch. Hey, we're filming here. Come on.
That's what he thinks about that.
Mm-hmm.
With the medications that I'm on, I have to eat every time I take my medicines, and that's 4 times a day. So I don't get to sit down and eat meals with my family very often. I have to leave every church service to go eat and take my meds. If I have to do that the rest of my life, I will do it. But it would be really nice to be able to sit down and eat with my family whenever we want to eat. It would be nice to be a part of a full church service. It would be nice not to deal with off times. There is a very great possibility I will be able to come off all or most of my medicines, which allows my body to rest and will make the medicines more effective in the long run when I do need them again. and it shows a huge potential for a greater quality of life.
And some research even that it would potentially slow progression.
Yeah.
There's some research in that, not a lot, but that's a hopeful thing. So.
Yes, it is. So what is the rest of? Well, let's go back to the study.
Mm-hmm.
So November 12th, I have my MRI. November 13th, I have a day-long appointment at UAB in which they will evaluate me to see if I am eligible for the study. Thankfully, I don't have to wait for an answer. I will know that afternoon if I do qualify for the study. What does the study do for us? For me, it gives me one of the best devices on the market at their expense. It also gives me a fantastic team to work with that will be monitoring me very closely to know exactly what I need and how to manipulate my transmitter for me to be most effective. It will also provide us with the opportunity to have this device on my right side should we decide to do that. We will not be able to do that surgery for a year because we've got to finish the study before we do anything else. Surgery wise, would not be before February more than likely. The first part of that surgery is the implementation of the transmitters and the lead in my neck. That is about a 6-hour surgery from what I understand. I am awake for it because they need me to be able to respond to the transmitters stimulation during surgery. That will be one night, overnight in the hospital. As of right now, even with COVID, Sam would be able to be with me, and that will be in the neurological ICU unit. I'll have an MRI the next morning, and Lord willing, be home by lunch next day. The next part of that will be the putting in the stimulator itself, which is also the battery pack, and it'll be in the top part of my chest. And that will be an outpatient surgery, and it will be whenever my surgeon has the operating room next. The two surgeons share one operating room on Friday, so one has it one week and one has it the next. The third part is not a surgery, it's what they call turn-on day, and it will be a month after the first surgery where they put in the transmitters, and they will turn on my stimulator, and we'll begin the process of getting it programmed and weaning off my meds. People ask, why does UAB only do one side at a time? Why do they take so many steps? Safety is the biggest thing. This surgery cannot be redone. It is a one-shot deal, so they want to make sure that there's no infection, there's no bleeding, there's no unnecessary trauma with each step of the process. They want to give the body and the brain time to heal between each step. And it's about being safe, is the way I look at it, the way I feel about it. I'm excited. There's some apprehension, yes. Sorry. But I see this as an opportunity that God has given us to allow me and our family to have the best possible life that we can have right now. As of right now, they say that DBS is effective for 15 to 20 years. But with technology changing and new things happening all the time, who knows? It may last 30. We'll just see.
And there aren't a lot of studies either, because typically you don't see people getting DBS until they're
60 or 70.
Later in life, and so there's not a lot of data out there on
the
folks that
longevity.
are our age.
Yeah.
And so and two, getting the benefits of this procedure now. We're not. We'll be 39 next year. So,
Yes. 40's coming quick.
Yeah. Getting the benefits now while the kids are still at home, that kind of stuff is promising. Of course, all this stuff may not happen. I mean, that's always a possibility too. But
Yes.
we just take it one day at a time and one step at a time.
Yep.
And thankfully, we're in a place with care on a level that just about the best in the world, really. So
Yeah, UAB is one of the top 10 in the nation for this procedure. The staff there is just amazing. I've been very, very pleased and very well taken care of over the last year and a half. So, all that to be said, how can you pray? Pray for God's will to be known. If it's His will for me to be in the study, if it's His will for the surgery to happen, then it will. And there won't be, hopefully, too many bumps in the road. Also, praying for His provision. We are very thankful for Oak Bowery and their willingness to provide us with health insurance. It's good insurance, but there is the reality that it does not pay for everything, and we're again, that's not a worry for me because God's always provided for us. He's never left us without anything that we needed. But those are the two things I would ask you to pray for. I would also ask you to pray for the kids. This is going to be a big deal. My little sister's getting married December 19th. And so after Christmas, I will be cutting my hair short again in preparation for surgery because I will shave my head. Everybody's asked why not just shave that spot. But talking to ladies that have had this done, it's just easier if you go ahead and shave it. Depending on who you talk to, your scar can be several inches long. So I would just rather make it simple for me and simpler for those that are taking care of me. And it's going to be weird for Mom to be down. While this is brain surgery and it is very invasive, it's not overly taxing to the body, I guess is the best way to put it. I'll have 2 weeks where I can't do anything, can't exercise, can't lift more than 5 pounds, that kind of thing. That will be hard for me because if you know me at all, you know that I don't like to sit and I don't sit well. So we'll be finding some things to work on during those 2 weeks. But I thank you for your love. I thank you for your prayers, for your support. And our God's good. And He takes care of us and He provides for us. And if you don't know Him, please let us know. We would love to tell you about our Jesus. Have a great day.